Here is a video on how to show your work by solving by guess and check while listing all the possibilities. The first thing you will do is write two empty sets of parentheses. From here, you want to first look at what the possible factors of the ax squared term is. So we would say I could get 3x squared by doing 3x times x, and we will write those in the front of each of the factors. From here, we are going to look at the possible factors of the c term. Now, negative 10 has many different possible factors. You could have 1 times negative 10, negative 1 times positive 10, a positive 2 times a negative 5, or a negative 2 times a positive 5. What this tells me is that not only will I have these four factor pairs, so I'm going to write these four factor pairs in here, but I'm also going to have four more where I have switched each of the factor pairs of the c term. So these first four possibilities come from having the factors of A in the front here and the factors of C in the back. But there are four more possibilities. If I leave the factors of A in the front, but take the same four possibilities for C and switch the order of them. So whereas my first factor pair was a positive 1 and a negative 10, if I switch that and I write the negative 10 here and the positive 1 in the second parenthesis, this combination is going to be a different combination than the first one. So I need to also include it. And I will continue that pattern with the other factor pairs, switching, putting this one in the first parenthesis here and the second factor pair here. So plus 2 is actually going to go here, and this is going to be a minus 5. This positive 5 will go here, and the minus 2 will go here. This is called listing all the possibilities. After you've done that, you will use the distributive property to multiply each of these factor pairs out until you find one that is equivalent to this original expression. So when distributing, you'll multiply the first terms of each binomial. So you get 3x squared. Then you'll do the 3x times the negative 10x, which is negative 30x. Then the inside, 1 times x, and then 1 times negative 10. And combining like terms in the middle gives me 3x squared minus 29x minus 10, which I can tell is not the correct answer. So I'll move on to the next one. Now, instead of showing all of my work on the next one, I know that this is going to be exactly the same as the first one I just did, except that these signs will be different. So I'll end up with a positive 29x in the middle, which is still not what I want here. So instead of showing all my work, I'm just going to say, I know this one's not right either. Let's move on to the third possibility. So we'll have 3x squared. 3x times negative 5 is a negative 15x. 2 times x is a plus 2x. And 2 times negative 5 is a negative 10. Combining our like terms in the middle, we get 3x squared minus 13x minus 10. This is not the same as what we wanted here. While the a and c are the same, the b term's not the same. So this is no. We also know the next one, since the 2 and the 5 are the same, only the signs are switched, is also not going to be right because we don't want a 13 here. We want it to be a negative 1. Moving on to the next one, we have 3x squared 3 times 1 on the outside is a 3x, negative 10 times x is a minus 10x, and negative 10 times 1 is a negative 10. This gives me 3x squared minus 7x minus 10. Again, not what I wanted. This one would have the same thing, but it would be a plus 7x here. So again, not what I wanted. It's got to be one of these last two. So boy, am I unlucky. Usually you find it before this. So 3x squared, and then 3x times 2 is a plus 6x. Inside, negative 5 times an x, negative 5 times a 2, and so we have 3x squared plus x minus 10. We're getting closer. This is a positive x, but I want a negative x here. So while this isn't it, the last one has got to be it. So we have 3x squared. Do the outside, 3x times a negative 2 here is a negative 6x. 5 times x is a plus 5x. And 5 times negative 2 is a negative 10. So we've done all of the distributing here. We have 3x squared minus x minus 10, which matches the original problem. So yay, we found it. So we would say the factored form of 3x squared minus x minus 10 is 3x plus 5 times x minus 2. And this would be our final answer. Please go ahead and try the problems that were assigned in class now.